Hello, everyone. My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is a Patreon request for both Justin and Justin. Funny how that worked out. This is the return of Hades. It's been over a year. This is The King and the Bull from Supergiant Games. Darren Korb, I'm assuming. Very long story short, Hades has my favorite, arguably my favorite video that I've ever done, my favorite reaction, and that was for Scourge of the Furies. So I have been fiending for more Hades. I have not listened to Hades since October 2021. Yeah, it's February 2023, by the way. So, the return of Hades, and congrats on Supergiant for announcing the sequel to this game. Very cool. Anyways, this is The King and the Bull. I'm not gonna say I have high expectations, but I kind of do. The King and the Bull from Hades. Let's go. Oh man, it even starts like Scourge. It almost sounds like a brother to it. Alright, I'm not gonna talk much. I just want to hear this. It's been too long. Oh, cool. Choir. Everything feels very floaty. Every instrument's on the same page, type of thing. I really love the grooves Darren produces. Exhibit A. Oh, that's so cool. New riff. Whoa, it's building tension. So it's kind of chromatic. Oh my god. I love that this has been the same riff with just 3 different variations of it already. Ooh. God, what a sick soundtrack, dude. I love that you can hear both guitar takes. It's not just copy and pasted. It's 2 performances. Oh, there's that riff again. So it's the same borrowed riffs from earlier, just distorted. Woo! Exactly, that's how I feel. I love the drum work in these songs. Damn, dude. Over a year later, I've been waiting to hear basically that. What's cool though about Hades, from the now 4 songs I've heard, this is the 4th, I think, is that they don't really have a, how do I say this? Like, they have like a signature sound, but I can still tell it's different from, say, Bastion, or what was the other one? Like, whatever the other Supergiant, like, it sounds like Hades. But then even within Hades, you know, the songs sound different. There's like the duet, I think it was called In the Blood, you know, that sounds like nothing like this. But then this one, it was like a striking resemblance to Scourge of the Furies, which either they're related or they're just like in similar areas, one's before the other, something like that. Or they just really just have the same formula, which is a good one. And that formula being, which is really cool, honestly, I don't really hear this too much in any video game, is it starts out, right, all mellow and acoustic, introduces the riffs to you, so you know them. And then when the distortion comes in, the band comes in, it's the same thing, just with distortion, drums, and a higher energy. It doesn't get faster. It's just more of a punch. So those riffs that you heard earlier, everything you heard was like just over here now, and this, it's like phase 2. It's like almost a boss battle itself, the song. So I really like that, and to me it was like almost exactly like the way Scourge of the Furies was written. Same instruments, sounded like they were almost recorded on the same day, same strings on the guitar, you know what I mean? Like, it just sounds like they're related. And it still had that one instrument, which I'm still not sure what it was. I think it's like the theremin, whatever that little noise is, which is so cool. But it's like, I don't know. I really like it. This one had a lot of tension though, and not to make full on comparisons with that other song. It just really much is similar. But this one had its own little tensions. It had a lot of chromatic notes, dun 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 dun. Chromatic being the next note over. And it has it just has that feel when there's like the closest thing I can think of is like the Jaws theme. It's like da dun da dun da dun. So it has that kind. Any sort of sound like that, the distance between those two notes is very like alarming. Dun 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 dun. The cool thing I really liked about this, actually, before I even mentioned that, the song reminded me of a band that I totally forgot about, and you probably forgot about too, or maybe you've not even heard of. They were called Godsmack. 2000s kids, rise up. Godsmack was a band that, I don't know, I always felt kind of was like, I don't know, they were kind of like underrated and overrated. They were kind of like their own thing. They were in the midst of like right post-grunge era, but not new metal. I don't really even know how to describe. I guess they were just like rock. I don't know. But anyways, they have their one of their more popular songs called Serenity. And the beginning of this song was very reminiscent of Serenity. I had like the same sort of, I thought Sully Erna was going to start singing over that. I wonder if that guy's still around. He was cool. And then, of course, when we get to the big chunky part, this one was a nice transition into it. The other time I heard it, it was out of nowhere, and I just didn't expect it. I was like, whoa. I didn't expect it here either. I had a feeling it might come up, but maybe it was just like a one-time thing, but I didn't think it was going to necessarily happen here. But this one, it was like a nice, smooth transition into it. It was a good little like volume swell, and then boom, full band. And what was cool about this one is that even though we're now just in a distorted guitar state, they still managed to change things up. So those riffs that you already heard earlier are becoming different, not only in sound, but in the way it's being performed. So first it started with palm muting, which is basically it's like choking off the guitar strings. It sounds really chunky. And then shortly after that, it gets unmuted, and that's why it sounds a little more like da 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 da. It's the same exact thing, just literally like releasing the flesh of your hand off of the strings, and then it opens up a lot. And then after that, it went into like a pedal tone, a more like 80s thrash thing, like. So it had all these little like cool guitar techniques, but they're just tiny little differences that overall like paint the picture. So as a guitarist, I really vibe with it. As a musician, I really vibe with it. But it's just so cool because nothing really sounds like it to me. And I think even though I've only heard 4 songs, I can still like feel kind of comfortable saying this sounds like it's from Hades. You know what I mean? I just have that instinct of, hey, this sounds like Hades, or it sounds like Darren, which I believe he himself is the guitarist. I could be wrong about that. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I saw a live performance with him somewhere. And they're like, and super giant composer Darren Korb to the stage, and he was playing something. It may not even been a guitar. I think it was just like a string. I don't know. But the dude's a genius. And I'm thoroughly impressed every time I hear Hades because it just keeps delivering. But on top of that, I forgot to mention the most impressive thing about Hades, besides the composition, is just the sound quality. It sounds good, dude. It sounds like an album. Like, it just sounds good. There's just no denying it. And it just makes me closer and closer to leaning over to, do I want to play it? Because I do play games based on songs, and this soundtrack is, well, I guess 4 for 4 now. Wendy's. I don't know, maybe. There's still more. I still have more Supergiant stuff. I still have more Hades, but It's just the thing is, I've never played a game like this, but I do like that it's the Greek mythos and of course the songs. I've seen kind of footage from it. It looks like it's sort of, what's the word? Isometric, top down type of thing. Looks kind of like a comic book. But I mean, I've seen like maybe 10, 20 seconds of someone playing. And I was like, oh, I stopped because I don't want to like spoil myself just in case. Anyways, sick. I'm glad I can finally hear it again after over a year. I'm happy for the guys that are making the sequel and the community. Like I said, to this day, my favorite reaction, arguably, like top 3, depends on the day, was Scourge of the Furies. So I'm always going to remember Hades for the rest of my life. And the moment, I heard that song and all that. So thanks to both Justins for requesting it. Thanks to the Supergiant community. I do like all of the other songs too from Supergiant. It's a good sound over there. But I do want to thank my Patreons, especially my Platinum members. Kevin, Patrick, Shadow Maxim, Vanadel, Kalanin, Gardelane, Mushimari, Justin, Nox, and S-Flot. Thanks to you for watching. Hopefully it won't be another year before we hear Hades. And I will see you in the next one. Shout out Darren, Korb, and The King and the Bull. Of course, I don't even know where that came. I didn't even think about the song title once. Who cares? The song was dope. Peace, everyone. Have a good night.